peeps, and welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I thought it would be fun to take you on a journey through some of the journals that I used in 2021. This is going to be the first of a multiple video series where I kind of walk you through the different journals and planners I've used so far this year. I'll leave everything linked in a playlist below. There won't be anything in it but this one for now, since this is the first one. But if you'd like to check that out because you're watching in the future, definitely go ahead down there. I'll also try to link the journal that I'm using in each video in case you want to check it out. But I thought it would be fun just to go through the different journals with you, how I liked the book itself, the different ways that I worked in it, my favorite pages I did, when I changed it up, etc., etc. So come along on this journey with me and let's get started. So this first journal that I used in 2021 was a Dina Wakley media journal. This is a 54-page journal. It is 7.25 by 10 inches. Well, the paper is anyway. It has pages that are burlap, canvas, cotton rag, watercolor paper, and craft. So this was definitely a journal that was different than anything else I've ever used. And it was interesting to kind of see the different ways that different mediums worked on the paper and how I could kind of work around it. I really loved how my kind of first page came out here. This is a 2021 bubble letter thing that I found on Instagram. This was from Isabel Hoops, but I just loved the kind of balloon-esque numbers, so I printed that out on here. I focused in 2021 on trying to not hoard my favorite pieces and use them more. So I had this little reminder, don't save the good stuff, that I cut out from a magazine. This I got from a Buy Bun ephemera pack. So it was kind of pieces of her work, which I thought was cool. And then just, various stickers and magazine cutouts, my usual, a little bit of paint, some star stickers. But I really liked how that came out. Again, here, just random things. A color palette of colored pencils that I really like to use. This was either watercolor or paint, which I liked. 2021 was like the first full year that we lived in our tiny house. So I kind of had that up in the front. Full moon picture. And then I took a picture of someone's like ephemera sorting system. I don't remember where I found it, probably on a blog post or something, but I thought that I might want to try that, but it was too complex. So I ended up not. I have these little sticky notes here on my favorite pages, so that's kind of what those are. This was definitely one of my favorite pages, and funny enough, it's like the first one. This was the first time I had really started doing like a kind of a landing page for the month that was just lots of little tidbits of different things I did throughout the month and kind of the mood and a vibe. And I really, really enjoyed it. Let's see, looking back here, we took a hike on the first of the year through the woods, and that was fun. It's funny to see this because we had a ton more snow this year than we did last year, so that's kind of a cool thing. I like to write a little intro letter to all of my journals, which is something that I teach in my kind of class. If you don't know, I'm running a course this year over on my Patreon, the Creative Freedom Journaling class. Every month you get a new lesson. And January's lesson was all about breaking in and bonding with new journals and different ways that I do that. And part of that was writing kind of the intro letter to it. So I'll leave that linked below if you want to check that out. You get access immediately to all the previous lessons whenever you join. So that is available if you want to check it out. Shameless plug. So these were my stickers that I created. You can still find them in my shop. I started playing video games, which is funny to look back on, since I don't play this particular one anymore with Chris, but we played some together the other day, so that was fun. I was never that type of person, so it was cool to kind of document that. Next page here, this was one of the burlap pages, which I experimented doing different things with. This I kind of tried to make it into like a bulletin board. So I had this like recipe that I still have yet to ever make that had been floating around for like years. So I stuck it on this tag I didn't know what to do with, saying try this, and I stapled it on. some food pictures that I liked that I stuck on there, a like weather update thing, and just a little magazine image with some word stickers. I got these 2 covers, which I didn't stay in long and haven't really used since, which is kind of funny to see. What else? Little cuties, orange stickers, and a calendar that I had made for downloads for my Patreon. Oh my god, this French toast is amazing. It's creme brulee French toast that Chris found online. I don't know where he got the recipe, but it's so bad for you, but it's so delicious. It's just like brown sugar and butter and eggs. It's so yummy. But that was fun. I couldn't really do anything on this burlap page. So what I did was I glued an entire magazine page behind it and then layered on different papers behind that to make like its own page, patchwork page, to then put my journaling and stuff on, which I actually really enjoyed. That was a fun technique. This page here, I never really finished it. It was just a fun collage of things. Kind of my journal stack at that moment. I was trying to use up rub-ons that I had forever that were kind of expiring. I hoard these tickets often, so I wanted to put that on there. Same with this die cut. And then Chris had made me a sign for Christmas that year, the previous year, that said Leanne's office, and these were the letters he had used to kind of cut it out. He made it out of metal, so that was fun there. This was a really fun page. I did like a what were we watching movie type of thing, and I made it in like a TV. So I made my own TV, which is in the same style as my TV stickers that I sell in my Etsy store. And then I printed out, you know, the cover page for each, not the cover page, the movie poster or the DVD cover or whatever for what we were watching, and just kind of, you know, wrote a little blurb about it, which was cool. This was a envelope from one of my clients, and I just cut out the note she left for me on there. Little tag with some journaling in it. So that was really fun. It says something about March 1st, but this is in January. So I must have done this over time and kind of gone back and filled that up. This was, again, just one of those pages I didn't really know what to do with. This is a canvas page. So when I did this on this side, the canvas warped a little bit and the paint bled through. So then I did the same technique as with the burlap, and I just glued a bunch of stuff over it. This isn't my favorite page, but it does have some of our outdoor adventures on it. So that was fun. Then I just have some personal photos and journaling in this little bag here. Next, another one of my favorite spreads, which is one of those spreads that I talked about where I just did like the monthly kind of overview. So this was February. I'm obsessed with these epoxy stickers from Sticky Club. They didn't do very many of them, but these black rose ones were just super, super cool. I'm definitely hoarding the last of those for sure. Chocolate wrapper. Walking through all this snow with shadow. When it's up to your knees, you get quite the workout walking up, especially walking up hills and stuff. So that's fun to kind of put in there. Get chocolate wrappers, just really artistic. I liked how I kind of painted over the design on the chocolate wrapper and then did some doodles over it and stuck some stickers on. These were my stickers that I have in my shop, the rainbow hearts, and I just kind of drew like a black outline over them, which was really fun. Still on the orange kick, obviously. And tea tags. This was another fun spread to do. I put this image here. I didn't really represent anything, but it was just a fun magazine cutout. And it had this past, present, future thing going on. So I just kind of did watercolor in the background, and then I made faux lines, writing lines, and journaled over it. This is a tag that I made. I believe this was for a Take 5 Art Challenge video. If I can find it, I'll leave it linked for you. But this was a canvas page, and I cut it in half because I just was really over those pages. I couldn't really use them for much. So I glued a tag on one side, glued paper on the other. Again, just more collage and things. One thing about this journal, which you'll notice that is not in here, that's in a lot of my other journals, are tip-ins. I couldn't really put tip-ins in this journal. Even these watercolor pages here, you can kind of see it with this washi tape, which is pretty good quality. It's so fibrous that nothing really wants to, like in terms of washi tape and things, stick to it very well. It's pretty much impossible to do a tip-in on it. I tried pretty, like, everything. Short of doing packing tape, which I'm not even sure that would have stayed. It's just a really hard surface to do any tip-ins on. So that was something that I really wasn't the biggest fan of. But the way the watercolor goes on it is just such a joy. So this was some matte medium that I put glitter stars on with. So I had the glitter and I put matte medium over it and it kind of sealed it in there. So that was really fun. Same with this eye. That's what I did around the eye there. These are just some pictures from our trail camera. This was like a embossed or debossed random scrap of paper. I don't even know where I got it from, but I just kind of played around on it with watercolor and some of my distress crayons and things. So that was fun to do. This is another Take 5 Art Challenge page, which I was obsessed with how it came out. This was just a really fun collage, messy, therapeutic art spread for the fun of it. So that was a really interesting page. This was our page all about adopting Shadow, which I kind of forgot when I was looking at these pictures of our walk earlier in that year. We didn't get Shadow until February. We've now had him over a year, but it was pretty crazy. It's just I can't imagine life without him now, really. He's such an amazing dog, but our adoption story was pretty crazy because he actually ended up being sick, which we found out shortly after we adopted him. And so the first 3 days were crazy and insane, but it was definitely a serious bonding experience for all of us. So that's fun to look at. This is another one of my favorite spreads, so much so that I didn't really do anything with it. I just was obsessed with how this came out. It doesn't show up so great on camera, but this pink is hot, like fluorescent pink, and this is like an electric blue color. And they're just so great. And I found this photo of me from years ago. I was sitting out on my chair, which is no longer exists. But with my coffee and my pirate journal back when I was using that, and just kind of sunbathing and reading, and some of my favorite moments for sure. So I was definitely pining after this kind of summer feel here. So I wrote Take It On Back, which is from a song, and was just kind of reflecting on this time a few years previously before that year. So that was really fun. Word stickers, which are a huge theme throughout, of course. This was a March day. We had this crazy 60-degree day. You can see all the snow here, but it was really fun, and I just hung outside with Shadow and read my book. So that was fun. Again, just like random mishmash of like random stuff that got shoved in here. I couldn't really do tip-ins, so it's mostly just paint, stickers, and paper. This is an eyeball sticker that I made that's available in my shop. Chocolate wrapper. Always sneezing. I'm right there. It's March now this year, and same thing, just allergies are kicking my butt. I still haven't finished this book, by the way. That's funny. Here we go. I miss tip-ins. That was the biggest thing that I was missing when using this journal, was just being able to do tip-ins. You guys know I put tip-ins on everything. I even made a masterclass about it, which is available in my Etsy shop and on Skillshare, because I'm so obsessed with tip-ins. So it was a real challenge to not be able to put those into this journal. More pictures of Shadow, of course. Memes. stickers, you know, just random things, random swatches that I had left over. Random collage page. Oh, it started out as swatches. I think these were gouache by Arteza, which I have recently passed on, I think, but I just did a giant swatch page and then did a really gross collage over the top. Not super in love with this page, but it was fun to make, which is kind of the whole point. This, again, what did I say about those pages that kind of are the start of the month? This is April. First time we were able to get back in the canoe, which was fun. Still freezing, but the lake wasn't frozen, so that is always a plus. Oh, I started using a composition book. That was fun as my planner. This is a scrap of fabric from a journal collection that I was working on using playing cards as tabs. Doodling kind of in the background here. This is another one of those burlap pages. Again, I just kind of collaged over it. Forgot about this. This is like a delicious, spicy mac and cheese type of thing that you can get from a local place here. So I'll definitely have to revisit that if they still have it on their menu. We had to switch Shadow's food, so I was documenting that here. This was a new sweatshirt that I had gotten from thredUP. Just a random page. Again, another random page. One thing you'll notice about my journals is a lot of my pages end up not being like finished. Like I would have saved these patches for writing, but I don't know, sometimes I don't feel like writing things in there. I just enjoy the process of kind of putting things together. I have gone through in hindsight in some of my journals and filled in the gaps, but for the most part, it's not really about that for me. As you can see, I can just look at things and know like, oh, this bag of food was there because Shadow was having digestive issues and we had to change his food, you know? Oh, I bought this sweatshirt. That was when I bought the sweatshirt. Like, I didn't write those things, but even now, a full year later, all I have to do is look at the photo and I know what it was about, or the little pieces that I put in there. So if you're somebody who doesn't like to write in your journals, I'm right there with you. You don't always have to. It's just putting in things that you enjoy, like this. I finished this book, which was Many Lives, Many Masters, and this sticker was on the back of it, and it was a book that I had started years before, and I finally finished it that summer, and not the summer, the spring in the canoe. I think that first time we went out this day, actually. So again, I didn't write any of that, but I know that that's what that was for. So, and if I forget, that's fine with me. Another page here. This was fun to kind of do the two black strips down the side here with paper on this burlap and then kind of journal over it. The grass was starting to peek through the snow here in April last year, so that was really fun to see and document. Chris and I got really into doing these like junk food takeout style meals at home, so we'd buy like mozzarella sticks and buffalo chicken from the grocery store, and we'd make it and go sit outside with like a beer every once in a while. That was fun to do. I played a lot in 2021 with trying to rotate through different supplies, and I had kind of challenged myself for April to do a lot of things on a black background. So I was kind of testing out my different supplies here, and that's how I used this piece of burlap, and I doodled these stars around it with a paint pen, which was fun. Another black page that I didn't finish. This is another one of those TV spreads that I did. I should do this again. That was really fun. I definitely need to do something like this in my journal now. Although we're pretty stuck on, you know, we usually just watch series. So, although I do have some things here and there in my journal still of that. Again, more pictures. I liked how this one came out. Sorry, I can't. I have plans with my dog. It's like literally the story of my life. And he loves his toys so much. We have a huge bin of them now, but that's cute to see just the little ones he kind of started with. Some of these are long gone, of course, so that's really fun. I modified my first Oracle deck. That was really fun. These were really fun to do. I got around the tip-in thing by using these giant cardboard leaflets. These came in Shadow's dog box, like his subscription box called the Bruck box, and they had really fun art on them. So I made like this Dutch door kind of thing with it, and I was putting in pictures from our walks off of the trail cameras. And I should have journaled in here and, you know, done all the things, but I never really finished it. And then by the time May hit, you could tell I was pretty well over this journal. I didn't get very far into May with it. I just had painted these flat color washes. I think I was inspired by the blackout pages that I was trying to do in April. So in May, I was like, oh, I'll do whole like solid color pages, which might have turned out really cool if I had finished them, but unfortunately this is about as far as I got with that. But other than that, that was pretty much it. You'll notice in some of these, I don't know if you actually can tell, but there were some of these pages where I just straight up cut out the, oh, here it is. Like this was a canvas page and I just chopped it out. I didn't even want to try and deal with it. The canvas pages were actually my least favorite to work on in this journal. I enjoyed the burlap more because I felt like I could glue stuff on it or kind of cut it down and staple things to it, and it felt a lot more useful. Whereas the canvas, if you put anything on it, it like wrinkled and shrunk and paint would go through it, and I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. I did really like the watercolor rag pages, but again, biggest con of the journal was the fact that I really couldn't do any tip-ins on it. Even on this craft paper, it's very fibrous. So, oh, I was using this as a testing page, I guess. Oh, this page, I put a bunch of gesso on, clear gesso, so that I could see. And as you can see, this is how it shrinks up totally, because the page should go out here. But that was the first journal that I used in 2021. I used it from January to kind of the beginning of May. Again, this was the Dina Wakley mixed media journal in the larger size. Overall, a really fun experience. I don't know if I would per se use one of these journals again. I have her blue jean one that I would like to try out just for fun. But this kind of got me really into this larger size format, which was my inspiration for using the journal that I'm using now, which is the Moleskine large notebook. So overall, a really fun journal, lots of fun memories, and it was fun to revisit it together. So hope you guys enjoyed this flip through of my first 2021 journal that I have to show you. I hope you will subscribe if you have not already and turn on your notifications so you don't miss my next installment. I'll leave as many things as I can linked below in the description box for you to check out, including my class, my Etsy shop, the journal that I used, and hopefully any of the videos that I mentioned, like the Take 5 art challenges. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. A huge thank you to my patrons for sponsoring today's video. They help make what I do over here on YouTube possible while still paying my bills and feeding my dog Shadow. So huge gratitude and love to them. They're amazing. You guys are rock stars for watching. Without you watching this and liking and commenting, I wouldn't be here doing this because there'd be no point. So thank you to you. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in my next one. Take care, guys. Bye!